know this is going on. Da, 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 da. Oh, all right. Well, that looks good. And YouTube, you're so bad at this. The Creator Studio just never pops up the stream. It should just give you the URL. Like, it's easier for me to go into a Discord server and copy the URL than to get it from their platform. But I digress. Oh, I see Spathiwa in the chat right there. Maybe we can coerce him into. Let me see. Let's see. So I usually go to the JRE Discord. I link this on the Twitch Writers Network there, and I think I let Negi know. Yeah, Negi usually wants to know. All right. All right, so I got that there. Ba, 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 ba. Let me reload the chat and kill this annoying announcement. All right, well, I'm alive. And this changes everything. Shout outs to the Edit Ace hat. If you would like to win one of these hats, all you have to do is come in #1 on edits on any long form book that we put out. Oh, shit. Stay did you get the shit that I mailed to you? Mm, mm, mm. Also, just like a quick update on everything that's going on there. So I got the proofs back from the Mandarin reader yesterday, and then I sent him off for a round of clarifications. And this guy, it turns out, really, really smart. I'm gonna have to change a bunch of the words in it, but I don't have to unrender the poems from Hengpai, which Hengpai is when you render Chinese text so that it reads from left to right. Normally, ancient Chinese poems were written to where you'd have like a column of them, and then you'd hop over one towards the left and another column of characters. Oh shit! There's big lot. The whole club is here. Everybody that is an Edit Ace is in the chat right now. I'm not gonna wear this the whole stream. I just want to shout out to Spathy and Logic, and just shout outs to everybody in the Hat Club for Men. So, I haven't seen y'all in a long time. All right, since both of y'all are here, we're gonna work on the most pretentious story maybe ever written by anybody in their long gay lives. So this is Aurora. Hold on, let me. How do I even fucking? There we go. So I actually have to look up what the fuck this even means because I wrote it and then I was like, oh, this translation is so apropos, and then I completely forgot what the fuck it was. So what does Aurorae Aporius mean? Translate some Greek to English right here. Yeah. What the fuck? Um I can't. I should have written down or commented what the fuck. Well, let this be a lesson to you. I knew that it meant what I wanted it to be. Aurorae Aporius. Well, I know what one of those words means. Here, let's try back and forth. Aboriginal rats. Huh. What does just aurorae mean? Okay, so the aurorae is the rats. What is Aporius? Question. Question rats? Yeah, oh yeah, just detect language is oh god damn it. Now we've I hate that when you try to copy paste something and then you I like that the start of the story is just me trying to figure out what the fuck the title is. Uh so let's detect the language. Yeah, don't even Greek detected, and then in English it's just like what you doing, son? What you done, son? I don't think Aboriginal is the word that I'm looking for there, but yeah. So this should show you how far afield I got fucking around with Google Translate on this. But yeah, let's. Well, first let's put it into. I don't know why I'm even bothering to put this into manuscript format because I can tell you there is no magazine on God's gay earth that will buy this story. I'm just putting it out there. This is, I think I did go like deep into Wiktionary. I did some dumb shit with this, but hopefully it means what I think it means. And if it don't matter. We can't sell this one. This is just for people in the stream, I think. Anyhow, enough talking it up. Let us move into Aurorae Aporius, which is not the pronunciation that I want, but we'll get there. Or maybe it's Aurorae Aporius. But anyhow, something about rats. I think maybe I said it somewhere. Hopefully I commented it later in the book, but I don't think I did. I think this was just a wild one. All right. Well, I want to thank everybody for tuning in to the edit stream. It's been a hot second since we were all there. Oh, so I'm still not streaming to. Oh, Periscope is out. DLive, DLive is working. Picardo just doesn't work anymore, but I think I'm on Facebook here, so I'll get a bunch of messages from relatives at some point there. All right, so this story, we're not taking it too serious. It's just having some fun. So, Aurorae Aporius by Zak ZYZ. Two great hunters chanced to meet at opposite ends of the Tristis Strand. There were surely safer routes, but both heroes favored the fringe, alive in the awareness that a single specious step should spill them into the Styx. Zeno was bound for the smoky spires of the Caicus Gis in the east. Basilios was meant for the western wastes, where the cold wind never relented. The Tristis was a narrow stretch on the silvery southern shore of Iko Basin, where the path pinched into a perilous narrow. Here, the famous flatlands of Mesa Graniti were split in twain, with a deadly drop to the plains of gleaming white below. How delicate is destiny! Had either sojourner slowed slightly or tarried the tiniest tick, custom would have commanded he stand aside and let the other party proceed. But the day was dwindling, and rivalry had been long kindling. But the day was dwindling, and rivalry had long been kindling. But the day was dwindling, and their rivalry long kindling. Here, nope. Yeah, we absolutely need that comma. Where's our text edit? You may be the only point on this one. It's full of tongue twisters, too. So just the act of me trying to read this whole thing might be somewhat amusing there. But the day was dwindling, and their rivalry long and kindling. Do we need a syllable there? But the day was dwindling, their rivalry long yeah, their rivalry long and kindling. No. But the day was dwindling, and their rivalry was rekindling. The hunters arrived in apparent unison. Neither was willing to be the obliging one. Zeno and Basilios marched out to the center of the Tristis strand, halting before each other at impasse. Let's see. Just in any instance during the story where there's a chance for any kind of alliteration, we want to put it in there, right? So the comma is appropriate in the previous thing, but if we have a chance to alliterate or to rhyme at any point in the story, we want to go for it. So if I want to say impasse, I think I need the accent mark. Impasse. No, I guess you don't add the accent mark in nerd English. Zeno rose to his impressive height and sang out first. "Oh, Basilios, tender Basilios, were you suddenly struck blind? Smugly standing before me, surely you must have lost your mind. Posture puffed with pride, simpleton smirks spread wide, across that hollow head, with not a thought inside. Did you know, comma, you stand astride the ravenous rift where your father died? Run away, I say, retreat, lest history repeat." Their rivalry was recently reforged. Now that that would work, but I think it gets you thinking too much about their past at that point. How sad! How sad! Basilios declared deadpan, as if he had some invisible companion close at hand. He made no move to offer quarter. "Spare me your sorrows," Zeno spat. He took a heavy step, aiming to put his opponent on the back foot. Zeno was larger than Basilios, but perhaps not so quick. Brave Basilios had held his ground, retort at the ready. "Alas, Zeno, such dreadful declined, for true, it's you who must have lost his mind. Drowsing in a dotard's daze, dreaming daftly of better days, when I might have made way, or cared a whit what you had to say. They've flown away, and you shall follow, for I am Basilios, the son of tomorrow." "Ha!" Zeno snorted as he retorted. "Tomorrow indeed, for you shall never arrive. Turn aside if you would survive." If you're in, we need something to break up these two. Oh shit! Yeah. Well, here. Let's just take let's take this guy here. We're gonna move that down to here. Cool. Ugh, so allergified to everything. Ha! Tomorrow indeed, for you shall never arrive. Turn aside if you would survive, Zeno snorted as he retorted. If you're in such a hurry to meet death, simply take another step. I'll gladly make the introduction, barked Basilios. And that should not be a capital. Bah! Don't bar your teeth. You look utterly effete. I was fast friends with Thanatos when you were at your Wallst. I think it's Wallst. Oh, I can't believe I will have to like read the ebook of this and take it seriously. Bah! Don't bar your teeth. You look utterly effete. I was fast friends with Thanatos while you were at your mother's teat. How do you pronounce this? Thanatos.
Thanatos.
Thanatos. Okay. That is very helpful. Thank you, mysterious Google head. All right. Bah, don't bar your teeth. You look utterly effete. I was fast friends with Thanatos whilst you were at your mother's teat. Thanatos. There's no Thanatos. Step forward then, and be reacquainted, Basilios bellowed. He set his stance wide and bowed his head in invitation. Zeno held fast, pitting an eagle's age against a sparrow's youth. So this is like an old Greek aphorism, from what I understand. I don't think it's too common in colloquial English there, but it works here. I try to avoid cliche in my normal writing, but all rules are off with a piece like this. Zeno held fast, pitting an eagle's age against a sparrow's youth. On the treacherous Tristis, the advantage belonged to the fighter who kept his feet firmly on the ground. Zeno did not step forward, and Basil... Why are we using... I'm going to make sure I'm spelling Basilios. No holds barred, yeah. Let's take a look. Should that comma be there? Step forward then, comma, and be reacquainted. Yeah, I think, for some reason, I think that comma is appropriate because there's a passage of time involved in then. If it was just step forward and be reacquainted, yeah, actually it works better like that. So let's take that. All right, I think you've got two edits that you did not get acknowledged for so far. Yeah, that works. So I think it originally it was correct, but we can just chop that out for the most part. I mean, even though we're goofing off, it's not an excuse to just have extraneous words in there. All these need to do some work. So what's trying to happen here is I was friends with death while you were still sucking on tits, and Basilius is like step forward and be reacquainted with death implied. Okay. Zeno did not step forward, and Basilios did not. Did I spell Basilios right? Yeah, I should have just learned Basilios at here. Hold on. Learn spelling. Because Basilios is correct. No. You. We're not there yet, right? Remember, I know everything that's in the story. We're just warming up for how fucking cornpone I get to get later. It's there, trust me. And I don't think it's bad. I just think it's like utterly gauche, like incredibly, incredibly pretentious, and like it's just it's very cringy to me. But we'll see what we can make of it. When neither hunter could budge the other with his glare, both turned their backs in disgust. The whole affair might have ended here. Yeah, the whole affair might have ended there. Hostiles harumphing home to spend days seething and endlessly recomposing the things they ought to have said. But the Morai wove otherwise. So, and this is not for you, Logics, I'm sure you know, but so the Morai are the three Greek fates. And as I forget the names of the individual sisters, but essentially the way that they use this metaphor was with one of them had a spinning wheel, and she was forever spinning out the thread of life that each person was allotted. And then one of them measured each length to make sure that each person was getting as much life as was fated to them. And then one of them stood at the very end with the shears to cut the thread of life. And I think we will reference her later in the whole thing. The whole affair might have ended there. Hostiles harumphing home to spend days seething and endlessly recomposing the things they ought to have said. But the Mirai wove otherwise. The pair's abundant acrimony attracted an audience. Admiring from afar, Basilios brought back a curious couple of desiderate damosels descried the dispute. Now we're getting into it. Basilios! Basilios! The vapid Vestals implored their idol. They sang across the narrow rift that divided Mesa Graniti from the cinder-strewn expanse of the Kafkas. I think it's Kafkas-gis. Hold on, let's make sure that we did that right. Yeah, it's Kafkas-gis. And those have meanings in Greek or Latin, but we're not going to get into them right now. Beat him down, beat him down, beat him down, Basilios, insufferable Zeno, so snide and supercilious. The tyrant's time has come. His awful reign is done. Cast him down to Hades, O Smintheus' favorite son. So Smintheus is another name for Apollo, and it means Lord of or God of mice. And he's referenced that way once in the Iliad, and only once. And nobody knows why they call him that. I think some temples, like mice, were considered holy or whatever there. But yeah, it's one of those lost in antiquity. Like why do they call him fucking Smintheus? But Smintheus, so he is called. So they're beseeching Apollo, and I think Apollo is the primary god that'll be referenced throughout this guy. As the coloratura, so I think I can't remember what coloratura means. I think it means comprised of it might be like a couple of octaves. Okay, it's elaborate ornamentation. And operatic. Okay, so this is so coloratura. We should hear an example of what coloratura sounds like. Here. All right, that's that. It's that like wavering whatever that you sometimes hear from sopranos. And so we describe these vapid vestals. So they're singing soprano over here. As the coloratura chorus rose, noble Nyx stole over the scene. Stars shone in the west, illuminating a pack of young warriors who swaggered towards the fracas. I'm so happy that for once in my life I can write swaggered towards the fracas. The cold wind of Horridus Corridus blew at their backs and lifted their answering song. Zeno, great Zeno, hunter without equal, peerless provider for our people, steward of the sick and feeble. Take Basilios, that weasel, set him soaring like an eagle. Let him rue the day his steps did stray upon the warpath of great Zeno. Everywhere, observers bloom like anemone. And anemone here are it's a flower, not like coral reef anemone. Here, what's it look like? I didn't know this one. Yeah, I've never seen it. So here's what it looks. They're windflowers. And these pop up a couple of places in Greek myth. Wherever I can, I'm trying to shoehorn in hokey Greek myth. But this is what they look like. They're actually like they're dope flowers. I would be happy to have a bunch growing, like woven in my hair in a lei. Everywhere, observers bloom like anemone. Across Iko Basin, two secret lovers had crept along the silvery shore, aiming to cavort in her sweet waters. Amor thwarted, they littered to titter and watched the drama unfold. Meanwhile, the band of young warriors tromped to the crossroads where the northern path led to Hamaxidus. Hamaxidus is the location of a famous temple to Apollo that had been lost. Fucking allergies, man. Summer is the worst. And I think Meleager meant something, but I can't remember what. Meleager, Meleager the crier, split from the pack with a joyous whoop and raced towards town. Reeling with regret, the hunters wheeled back to the attack. Xenos eyes found Basilios, and the pugnacious pair shared a grievous grimace of mournful misgiving. Oh my god. Are you fucking serious? Xeno's eyes found Basilios, and the pugnacious pair shared a grievous... I can't even say it. Xenos eyes found Basilios. Here. The pugnacious pair shared a grievous grimace of mournful misgiving. Loudmouth Meleager surely meant to manifest every resident in the realm. With a swarm of spectators spying the rivals like the eyes of Argos, there would be no gracious retreat. They were trapped. In a booming baritone, Zeno began his gambit. How facile to urge us to battle when you aren't in the fight. The perfidious, insidious prattle of recreants reveling in second-hand strife. Oh, there should be a comma there. And in general, hold on, let's go back. Line ends need to have commas. Yeah, I don't know why. Why we. Yeah, each of these line ends needs a comma. Across that hollow head with not a thought inside. I like that one. All their exchanges are in rhyme almost. There are a few like asides where we don't go into rhyme. Originally, I was trying to write this in I think iambic hexameter, but it was just too hard. I couldn't make a good story out of it. Use an oblique instead of a comma. What's is oblique the three dots? Oh, yeah, just an oblique on it. I'm not actually trying to make the readers suffer here. Just me. Like I'm dying inside reading this. Oh. How facile to urge us to battle when you aren't in the fight. The perfidious, insidious prattle of recreants reveling in second-hand strife. I really actually like that line. No. Oh, pretentious twat for a slash. Oh yeah, I'm not gonna fucking put slashes in here. No. You wait. I've only begun. Your bravery's half baked. Oh wait, Basilios, repudiate their bait. You stand upon the strand, not they. Your ambitions ought to wait for a more auspicious day. Your bravery's half baked. Beware or you'll be burned. It's a deadly game we've staked, so mark my words and learn. Yeah, so mark my words and learn. Though your actions are uncouth, and you trespass against me, forsooth, I'll allow the madness of youth, and relate this irrefragable truth. And relate this irrefragable truth. I think it's irrefragable. Irrefragable. God. Which is, it's not quite indelible. Irrefragable. Yeah, and indisputable is basically it. No, wait. Just wait. Oh, we have to go to a fucking video because Google won't even do it. I hate you, Emma saying. See, why do they have this fucking...
Irrefragable.
Irrefragable. Alright, let's... This one has the meaning.
Irrefragable.
Irrefragable? Fucking video. I have never heard anybody say this word ever, and I have never seen it in print. This is harvested straight from the thesaurus. Straight banging. Alright. And relate this irrefragable truth. Fools aspire to be admired. for deeds they've not yet done. They pray I shall retire or expire, so that they can be the one. Hear me now, Aristo's son, for I was once like you. I coveted all Aristo won. I had nothing and everything to prove. But as envy gnawed my mind, I think we need... But as envy gnawed my mind, I calculated the cost. Why fight a battle for time? She has never lost. Irrefrigible. That which cannot be fridged, because it gets eaten before you can put it away. So what's all this of oak and stone? Will you plunge in pride, or stumble humbly home? Or humbly stumble home? Which sounds better. So what's all this of oak and stone is a reference to, I think it might have been Julius Caesar that said this, or some other posh asshole. But essentially, it's like, where's the beef? What's all this about? Is, hold on, let's look up the origin here, because I should really know. I hope I didn't just make this up. I want to say that it is somewhere in what? Hold on. I hope I didn't just make this up. Yeah, what's all this about oak and stone? References to oak and stone appear 3 times in the earliest Greek literature. Hesiod, a meeting of the muses. The phrase has often been taken to refer to a discretion or a relevance. Oak and stone pairing is a significant theme. Homer has 2 cryptic references. Hector tells himself it's too late to negotiate with Achilles because there is no way anymore from a tree or a rock to talk to him gently. Penelope asked disguised beggar about Odysseus about his origins, since from an oak or a rock you did not spring. Passages have long puzzled commentators. So this is where it's at. I don't have JSTOR membership there. Yeah, so it's a list of Greek phrases here. Yeah, but why all this about oak and stone? Then why all this about oak and stone? So it's from it's Hesiod. So it's from the Theogony. That's where we originally came from. It there. Okay, cool. Oak and stone are the primary components of a palisade. I guess so. Whew. I think we delved deep into this Greek phrases. So what's all this of oak and stone? Will you plunge in pride or stumble humbly home? Or humbly stumble home. I like stubble humbly home. With it or upon it. And this is like with your shield or upon it. Like, come back with your fucking shield. Or like we'll carry you to your funeral pyre on it. With it or upon it. Make haste, Aristo's son. For my patience is perishing. And the day is more than done. All right, so let's okay, cool. That's not as bad as I thought it would be. The face of Basilios grew mottled with an outrage that had been too long bottled. The face of Basilios grew mottled with outrage that had long been bottled. Yeah. The face of Basilios grew mottled with long bottled outrage. Yeah. So we lose a little bit of the rhyme scheme, but it was just too clunky the other way. So you say, Zeno, so you say. It seems your brain has rotted away. Oh, wow. So you say, Zeno, so you say, for your brain has rotted away. Yeah. It seems your brain has rotted away. Contagion drips from those innocuous lips when you profane my father's name. Zeno, even at your zenith, you were too feeble to be Aristo's equal. You bowed before the behemoth. Sunken in his shadow, you stomp beetle. Backstabber, you bit your lip and bided your time, carefully crafting your cowardly crime, artfully arranging a riotous celebration, ambuscading Aristo amidst the jubilation. You plotted, you waited until he was besotted, then you played your heinous hand, and led Aristo stumbling and blotted to the silver shores of this very strand. And though you hadn't drunk a dram, and brought no witness nor second man, a duel to the death you did demand, tipsily Aristo accepted, just as you planned. My father fell for fathoms, sire shattered like sire shattered like a toppled sculpture. Now this Zeno cocktrots atop his tomb. He's no victor, he's a vulture. Let the gods strike me dead if I am a perjurer. My father's death was no duel. Zeno is a murderer. What the? Jesus Christ. Liar! Zeno roared. He surged forward, swinging with all his strength. Basilios bolted backward but bumbled. His footing faltered, and he nearly followed his father. His footing faltered and nearly followed his father. Zeno was no better. Zeal. Yeah. Zeno was no better. Zeal almost pitched him off the precipice. For an instant, both belligerents whipped their arms in circles, windmilling above the abyss as the audience hissed. Where's the, so you say, comma. Did we get that? Yeah. Actually, we should take out Zeno. So you say, so you say. It seems your brain has rotted away. Hmm. Yeah. So you say, so you say. Your blighted brain has rotted away. That's better, yeah. Let's see. Where tipsily, comma. All right, let's get there. That is a tipsy comma. I like the italicization on liar too. I think that's appropriate. Okay, cool. So that's 2 for Spathy what? All right. I really like this story, but oh my god. Ugh. Like if a student gave this to me, I would strike them bodily. Just be like, no, we don't do that. For an instant, comma. No, I don't even need for an instant. Both belligerents whipped their arms in circles, windmilling above the abyss as the audience hissed. Can we use the word abject there? No, abject's too much. I guess they would be more alarmed than abject. No, actually. So his footing faltered and nearly. He really breaks up the rhyme scheme a little bit there, or the diction. His footing faltered and he nearly followed his father. Yeah, see that syllable. His footing faltered. He nearly followed his father. Basilius bolted backward but bumbled. His footing faltered, and he nearly followed his father. Yeah, we can't have and and he. Yeah, let's do. His footing faltered. He nearly followed his father. Yeah, yeah. So the whole thing is meant to have this sort of marching martial cadence wherever we can. You know, kind of like that kind of thing. So, liar, Zeno roared. He surged forward, swinging with all his strength. Basilius bolted backward but bumbled. His footing faltered. He nearly followed his father. Zeno was no better. Zeal almost pitched him off the precipice. Both belligerents whipped their arms in circles, windmilling above the abyss as the audience hissed. Zeno and Basilios. Yeah. I think we use flinging elsewhere. Yeah. Oh yeah, we definitely have used flinging like at some point during this other one. Yeah. I don't like whip their arms in circles or windmilling above the abyss. I think we use belligerent. Okay, that's a little better. Yeah. His footing faltered. He nearly followed his father. Zeno was no better. Zeal almost pitched him off the precipice, and he windmilled his arms above the abyss as the audience hissed. Um, the fighter's frightfully falling. um, I don't think I can use a not. We need something at the. Okay, I do. This is a good spot for frightfully, though. Zeno and Basilios frightfully righted themselves and faced off once more, trembling at the dire stakes they could no longer ignore. Zenor's shoulders rose and fell with each heavy breath. His stern face was bloodless as marble. Touched by the brush with death, Zeno's shoulders rose and fell with each heavy breath. His stern face was bloodless as marble. Basilios flushed. Let's hold on. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think. Mm, da, 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 da. Yeah, what we want is change color. I guess we could use shaded there. But it's really more like draining the blood out of his face. And touched. Yeah, this is not an improvement. There we go. Let's see if we can find. Mm-hmm. Thassos marble. What's types of white marble? We don't want Cacarda, Carrera. Hmm. Yeah, let's try to work that in. I like that. Oh, apparently Thasians were a race of non-corporeal beings with extremely powerful psychokinetic abilities. Um, yep. So Thasian is the correct spelling. His stern sneer became blank and bloodless as Thasian marble. No, I mean this is totally the place for messing around. This is just for fun. I can never sell this. I shouldn't even release this. Zeno and Basilios frightfully righted themselves and faced off once more, trembling at the dire stakes they could no longer ignore. Touched by the brush with death, Zeno's shoulders rose and fell with each heavy breath. shuddering at the brush with death. Uh, shuddering at the... All right. I think we later in the thing too. We talk about like the shroud. Brushed by the breath of death. Oh, breath was our initial rhyme. Um, brushed against certain death, Zeno's shoulders rose and fell with each heavy breath. Uh, no. Hmm. Yeah. Oh, that's hard. I literally spent like 2 or 3 days fucking around with some of the lines on this thing, just trying to get them where I wanted them. Mm-hmm. Abhorring the touch of death. Abhorring the closeness of death. Zeno's shoulders, Zeno's strong shoulders rose and fell with each heavy breath. His stern sneer became blank and bloodless as Thasian marble. Basilio's flushed face grew green as ophite. And so ophite is this green stone that was used in a lot of temples. It's like it's called serpentine in some places. Um, what's a word for like too close? Overly proximate. Uh, too close to call. Synonyms for very close. Yeah. Mm. No, that's not good. Infringe is kind of close to what we want, but it's not quite it. Contravene, violate. Impinge. Oh, I like impinge. No, adjacency's not good. Trespass up ass. Ooh, I like trespass there. Closeness. Illiberality. Adjacency, compactness, parsimony. Huh. No, that's not what we want. Penuriousness. What the fuck? Touch. Yeah, this is actually quite difficult. Contingents, crash, cuddling. Yeah, embrace. Mm-hmm. Traipsing too close to death. No. Despising the touch of death. Oh, that's perfect. All right, so there we go. Despising the dearness of death. Zeno's strong shoulders rose and fell with heavy. Despising the dearness of death, Zeno's strong shoulders shuddered with each heavy breath. His stern sneer became blank and bloodless as Thasian marble. Basilios' flushed face grew green as ophite. Can you feel the brush of your shroud, Basilios? Zeno goaded. You're looking seasick as a Macedonian, and Macedonia is landlocked. Real. Heaved with each heavy breath. Oh, I like that better, yeah. I think we had that at the beginning, and I cut it out there. I'm going to take it. Ugh. 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 Can't get over this. Let me see. Can you feel the brush of your shroud, Basilios? Zeno goaded. You're looking seasick as a Macedonian. I'm only sick of looking at you, swine. Then remedy what ails you, coward. Here I stand. And there, you shall fall, Basilios cried. Like a piccolo, Zeno played his pride. Like a fucking piccolo. Like a piccolo, Zeno played his pride. Swift as a shot, Basilios feinted to the face and whipped a crickling kick. Amused at the Abecedarian attempt, Zeno sprang superior, presenting a powerful punch to the vulnerable snout of his inferior. Whoa. Yeah. All right, like a piccolo, Zeno played his pride. Swift as a shot, Basilios feinted to the face and whipped a crippling kick. Amused at the Abecedarian attempt, Zeno sprang superior, pounding the vulnerable snout of his inferior with a powerful punch. Basilios was sorely stung. Zeno thought he'd won, but he was careless, capitulating. Ooh. Yeah, woo indeed. All right. Basilios feinted to the face and whipped a crippling kick. Amused at the Abecedarian attempt, Zeno sprang superior, pounding the vulnerable snout of his inferior with a powerful punch. Basilios was sorely stung. Zeno thought he'd won, but he capitalized carelessly and was caught clean by Basilios' blind blow. I would love to use this clock was clean, but they didn't have clocks back then. Basilios flailed and caught him clean. Yeah. Zeno thought he'd won, but he was careless in capitalization. A blind blow caught him clean. Now their blood was up, Folding to fury, Zeno and Basilios bellowed like beasts and grappled without guile. They thrashed and throttled across the precipice, a dusty grape rolling against Hades' lips. Here was nothing noble. Yeah, I wonder if there's like a comma or something that's meant to happen there. Here was nothing noble. The squabble for superior status swelled into a sordid struggle for survival. "Stop!" shouted the spectators. "Enough!" exclaimed Olympus. The ceaseless, egregious emulation exceeded even Elea's endurance. Empyrean exasperation howled from on high, a supreme sigh. Sudden winter wind divided the delirious dervishes as a drenching disengages concupiscent dogs. Ugh. Holy fuck. This is the bad part. Hold on, let's roll through that one more time. Like a piccolo, Zeno played his pride. Swift as a shot, Basilios feinted to the face, and then whipped a crippling kick. Amused at the Abecedarian attempt, Zeno sprang superior, pounding the vulnerable snout of his inferior with a powerful punch. Basilios was sorely stung. Zeno thought he'd won, but he was careless in capitalization. A blind blow caught him clean. Now their blood was up. Folding to fury, Zeno and Basilios bellowed like beasts and grappled without guile. They thrashed and throttled across the precipice, a dusty grape rolling against Hades' lips. Here was nothing noble. The squabble for superior status swelled into a sordid struggle for survival. "Stop!" shouted the spectators. "Enough!" exclaimed Olympus. The ceaseless, egregious emulation exceeded even Elea's endurance. Empyrean exasperation howled from on high as a supreme sigh. A supreme sigh. Sudden winter wind divided the delirious dervishes as a drenching disengages concupiscent dogs. I thought about using concupiscent curs, but it didn't track right there. Concupiscent canines? Oh, yeah. Oh, fuck. That's ridiculous. A dusty grape rolling against Hades' lips is my favorite image in the whole fucking thing. And like the ceaseless, egregious emulation. Elea is a god of patience, exactly. Or not exactly, but more or less there. "A draught of witchcraft," shuddered Zeno. Basilios chattered curses, too cold to compose verses. "Idiots." No, that doesn't work. So I think for the audiobook, I wanted "idiots" to be like that, but it doesn't work there. And then this should be italicized. I like the draft of witchcraft. Basilios and Zeno were struck silent as stones, rocked rigid as suitors of Medusas by the revelator's rebuke. The soothsayer emerged amidst the audience as a cup springs from Arethusa. I like that they're rocked rigid as suitors of Medusas by the revelator's rebuke. The soothsayer emerged amidst the audience, comma, as a cup springs from Arethusa. So Arethusa, there's a myth about like a particular river, and I think Arethusa might be in Sicily or something like that. It's either Sicily or one of the western islands. Probably not Sicily, but apparently the myth is this nymph was trying to get away from Old Man River, who was in a rapey mood, and she fled like all over the place, and finally like fled all the way to Sicily, but he found her and had his way with her. And apparently you can throw a wooden cup at this one point in a stream, and it will pop up at this spring called Arethusa. I'm kind of butchering this right here, but that's the particular myth that's referencing. "What foolishness I find." Oh. Her scowl surpassed the wind's... No, that's not good. The oracle raised an ancient fist and shouted across the abyss. Oh shit. Yo, what's up, Will? We're working on like this goofy fucking story right here. Which it's like a Greek myth kind of. What foolishness I find. I wish I was born blind. How my aged eyes despise this infantile imbroglio, this dungeon of Phobos Dodos. So Phobos, I think, was like the god of panic or something like that. But and I had to check if they actually knew what dodos were in Greek times, and I think that they were known at that time. What foolishness I find! I wish I would. What's this foolishness I find? I wish I was born blind. How my aged eyes despise this infantile imbroglio, this dudgeon of Phobos Dodos. Children, you ignore the ill wind, unaware of the evil end she portends. The conclusion of your division shall be cataclysm. A gasp rasped from the cowed crowd. The oracle's eyes were glazed and glittering. The promise of prescience set the terrified townsfolk shivering. They'd be tittering. No, shivering's got to be there. I have traversed nod upon my tripod, ear bent to the hissing vent. I've been heaven sent to circumvent the useless, fruitless. I have traversed nod upon my tripod, ear bent to the hissing vent. I've been heaven sent to circumvent the useless, fruitless descent of these two malcontents. Swiftly, before I'm spent, quit this conceit, retreat, relent. The gods are not ambivalent. Apocalypse is imminent. So, tough one here is that Nod is really a biblical thing, the land of Nod. So it's a little bit out of place. The tokefish. The crowd was aghast. Basilios and Zeno still stood fast, stiff and straight as ship's mast. Then came Basilios' brazen blast. You shall not pass. And neither shall you, Zeno shouted back. I won't be budged. Bring on the foretold doom. The overwrought oracle shook her head in sagacious sorrow. Then shook her arthritic fist at the Tristis. You Parlos, you Salaminia, listless, oblivious, witless idiots. So Parlos and Salaminia were these sacred triremes that I think met like an ill-fated, pronounce it node? I don't know about that. Let me check. Well, that's just fucking great. Yeah, that's very helpful right there. Um, I mean, this is just the word nod. Reading between the lines, the land of Nod. Is it fucking silent again?
Under a curse and driven from the ground, which
Yeah. All right, so that was probably it.
Land of Nod.
Yeah. All right. That was actually. Yeah, it was not. I was pretty sure it was the land of Free Nod. Okay. I'm glad I was right for once in my goddamn life. The land of Node. But hold on, let's. The land of Nod is mentioned in Genesis. It's the land of wandering right there. Yeah. So it's a little bit of a but. It's a little bit of a fudge right there. Um, but given that it's an oracle, she could come up with any kind of crazy shit, I guess. The overwrought oracle shook her head in sagacious sorrow, then shook her arthritic fist at the Tristis. You Perilos, you Salaminia, listless, oblivious, witless idiots. You'll gall the gods for your paltry pride. Phaeton shall fall, Poseidon will rise. The high houses of Hamaxidus shall all fall and die, drowned as Dardanians, or else roasted as Ethiopians. So roasted as Ethiopians, Ethiopians literally means burnt by the sun, because in like ancient Greek, they thought black people had just been burned black. Not actually, but that's how it went down back in the day. Drowned as Dardanians, or else roasted as Ethiopians. I don't remember what the origin of drowned as Dardanians is. Closely related. Ancient people. I think it's an island that sank or something like that. The rule of Trode. Troas. Yeah, I can't remember why I called it. Call them like they see them. Yeah, I'm not taking that out, by the way. I don't have to sell this fucking story. I can put in bits of classical Greek racism. I really can. Let's see. Drowned as Dardanians, or else roasted as Ethiopians, in a doom hewn from your hubris, while you squint in vain entropian. It has already begun. What the fuck does entropian mean? Oh, it's a condition where your eyelid turns inward. I forgot about that. Yeah. So your eyelashes rub against the eye surface. Woof. It has already begun. The midnight sun shall come. Your squabble shall surly summon the devourer, the dark one. Her ultimate utterance cast, the oracle slumped to the stone and gasped her last. Attendants rushed to aid, but they were too late. Atropos severe shears. So Atropos was the sister that held the shears. And then we need a different word for too late. That's not poofy enough. Unpunctual. What's diatorially?
Dilatory.
Huh. I don't think we're going to use dilatory. Never heard that one before. Yeah, this is a serious Yeah, like build your vocabulary with Zak ZYZ right here. Attendants rushed in vain to offer aid. Yeah, I want something. Oh, I like kind of fruitless there. Augur. Yeah. Augurer. Yeah. So I need the U. What? Oh, did Pages fucking crash? Ugh. Oh, please don't have lost what I was working on. Ugh. Yeah, it just crashed under the weight of our bullshit there. Okay, cool. I fucking closed it by being a dunce, but yeah, that's how it went. We didn't lose anything. All right, so vainly. God, what is all this horse shit? So many fucking windows open. Pronounced crypto orchidism, political divisions of Spain. Yeah, man. Ineffectually. Wow, all this is spelled wrong. No, inadequately is not necessary. Vagina of Doom. I think that's in another story, but definitely I've put that in there. Her ultimate utterance cast, the oracle slumped to the stone and gasped her last. Attendants attempted to aid the augurer, but Atropos' severe shears coldly clipped her wayward thread from the fabric of fate. Yeah. Attendants attempted to aid. Oh, I like that. Attendants attempted aid, but Atropos' severe shears coldly clipped her wayward thread from the fabric of fate. As the ancient augur fell to rest, the wicked wind whistled in the west. Above it all, the Ides moon crested the clouds in an asphodel bloom. Shining stark white in Selene's silver light, Zenos and Basilios turned back to their fight. Zeno sang, "Enough omens, enough tragedy. Upon the count of 3, I'll come at you, and you at me." Said Basilios, "I agree." Damn. 3 began the count. The ground rumbled as if Aetna had awoken, but the combatants' concentration was unbroken. 2! Another thunderous beat on the drum of oblivion. 1! Came the count. Every breath held, from nethermost Tartarus to the Olympian Mount. As the hunters hurtled into their climactic clash, the heavens illuminated with a blinding flash. The sky split asunder with a thunderous scream. Zeus himself had intervened. The midnight sun had come as prophesied. Night became day. The haughty hunters bounded in fright, turned tail and ran away. The crowd dispersed in a fit of fear. Each found some crack and disappeared. The lifeless oracle remained in the unholy dawn. The Titan's scream wailed on and on. 3 lightning emojis. Cleo, what's wrong? Are you okay? Oh my God. Oh my God. Anthony, you told me you were going to put down traps. I did, Anthony protested, hoping it was true. Only a fraction of his brain was awake. There were like 100 of them on the kitchen counter. We're infested. Did you smoke anything earlier? Anthony asked, sharper than he intended. He was in his 3rd week of nursing residency and desperately needed to be asleep. I'm not high, Cleo cried. She was in rough condition. Not one callback from her last 5 auditions. I've had it. I quit. I'm moving back to Connecticut. Please, Cleo, calm down. Why are you rhyming? I don't know. I am calm. Maybe a little calmer? Anthony softened his voice. Babe, you woke up half the building. Someone's probably calling the police. I swear to God, Tony, there were so many of them. Are you sure? Wait, I'm sorry. I believe you. I'm just exhausted. Yes, I'm sure. Look, there's a dead one by the sink. There was indeed an old gray mouse lying motionless on the faux granite countertop. Droppings were scattered across the vents of the stovetop. Maybe they were having a funeral, Anthony joked. Cleo didn't laugh. She started to weep. Big, heaving sobs. Big, heaving sobs fueled by intermittent hot water, clomping upstairs neighbors, ruinous rent, and now this inexplicable mousy pharmacos beside a sink full of dirty dishes. Feeling like a fool, Anthony put his arm around Cleo and let her cry it out. I'm sorry, Anthony apologized. It's not your fault. I'll call an exterminator. I already did. They wanted $300. Ooh. I'm sorry I woke you, hon. There were just so many. I'll take care of this. Assured Anthony. We really can't afford $300. I know. I'll think of something, Anthony promised. He was already gone when she woke up the next morning. The kitchen was spotless. The trash with the dead mouse had been taken out. The dishes had been washed, dried, and put away. Cleo felt extra wretched. Most of those dishes had been hers. She stared at the edge of the sink, remembering the 2 startled, squabbling mice that stared up at her after she flicked on the kitchen light. Those beady little black eyes. Ugh! She suppressed the urge to burn down the entire building. Instead, she put on a pot of coffee. Peering into the refrigerator, she began a mental list of the things she needed from the store. Anthony would be so surprised. Okay, so here, our big reveal is that the whole time, these were Greek mice fighting in Astoria the entire time. So the scene, like the silvery Ico basin, is the kitchen sink. The Mesa Graniti is a granite countertop. And the cinder-strewn expanse of the Kafka's Gist is their stove. And this is actually written about my kitchen. So now you know. Not sure that extra wretched is right. It's just, it's just my, it's totally just my kitchen countertop. Um, I honestly, I like extra wretched. Let's see what Logic thinks. So Cleo felt extra wretched. I can see why you're saying that because there's a weird. Let's try it. Cleo felt no. I'm gonna keep it for right now, unless extraterrestrial. Unless Logic also thinks that it's terrible. I like because it really has the combination of the word. Why also? Here, get back where you once belonged there. It seems like something a chick would think. That's absolutely what we're going for. Um, Ooh, I think we actually need the hyphen. Um, it's just the hyphen that you think? I like extra wretched. All right, I'll take out the hyphen. Cleo felt extra wretched. Oh, and it's so awful, right? It really just is an extra wretched phrase, but I like it. I think I really think it applies something about the character, and here this should be a new paragraph. Those beady little black eyes. Ugh. Cleo suppressed the urge to burn down the entire building. Instead, she put on a pot of coffee. Peering into the refrigerator, she began a mental list of the things she needed from the store. Anthony would be so surprised. Hey, I'm home. What smells so amazing? Anthony called out. Anthony called across the apartment. Musaka, Cleo called back. The whole apartment. Oh, yeah. Hey, I'm home. What smells so uh yeah, I don't let's take out the hey. I'm home. What smells so amazing? Yeah, I don't think somebody would say that. I think he yeah. Yeah, Jesus fucking Christ. I'm home. What's that smell? Anthony called from out in the hall. So that sounds like Musaka, Cleo called back. The whole apartment was swirling with scents. Savory lamb, smoky eggplant, and that is a colon, because it's a comma separated list. Savory lamb, smoky eggplant, and tomato tang. Really? Anthony's eyebrows bounded in astonishment. Yeah, I felt bad about. Wait, what is that? Behind his back was a beige carrier. Through the slits in the side, Cleo could see a pair of green eyes glittering in the darkness. I got us a full-time exterminator, Anthony smiled. Oh, Tony! Cleo clapped her hands together. Can I let him out? Yes. Of course. Okay. Sure. Yeah, that's just sure. Okay, let's sit down so we don't spook him. Let's take out let's. Sit down so we don't spook him. They sat together at the dinner table, but it was a needless precaution. When Anthony sprang the wire door, the cat yawned pointedly and sniffed the moussaka-scented kitchen air. After a fashionable pause, he deigned to make his entrance, comma. Sleek and black, the cat moved languidly around his new kingdom, profoundly unimpressed. He's so pretty, Cleo breathed. The cat rubbed against her leg in agreement as he strutted past. Cleo dangled a hand for him to sniff. Where did you get him? One of my patients is going into hospice. She's been going crazy. She's been driving us crazy trying to find a home for him all week. Do you like him? The cat approved of the offered hand. He leapt into Cleo's lap. Delighted, she gently stroked his fur. Mm-hmm. Oh, comma, Tony. Oh, Tony. That is indeed an important comma right there. All right. What the? Oh, there it is. Yeah, it's there all along. It's just not appearing in the fucking whatever for whatever reason. Can I let him out? Sure. Okay. Sit down so we don't spook him. All right, so the cat approved of the offered hand. Delighted, she began to stroke his lustrous black fur. I love him, Cleo mouthed. Huh, seems like it's mutual, Anthony grinned. Does he have a name? It's on his collar. I haven't said it out loud yet, in case we want to try and change it. Cleo deftly dodged a few playful nips and managed to look at the silver disc on the cat's collar. The old owner's phone number was still etched on the back. On the front was his name. The old owner's phone number was etched on the back. On the front was his name. Typhon. No, it's perfect. Hello, Typhon. Welcome to your new home. Typhon flicked his ears at the sound and began to reverberate with a mighty purr. In the shadows, whiskers trembled and dark eyes glittered with dread. Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba. So Typhon, for those not up on their Greek myth, was kind of like their Fenris or their Leviathan. It's like a great destroyer. I think he was like one of the titans that Zeus and Poseidon and everybody fought against, and he fucked everything up. He was a badass. So that's the story of Aporus Aurorius, or Aurora. I have to figure out how to actually fucking say this. We should probably change the title to something that I can pronounce. But yeah, so basically, the gimmick of this one is just basically there's this big braggadocious fight between the Oracle and so forth, but they're just fucking mice fighting on a kitchen counter. And then the big reveal is that they're mice, and then his solution to the problem is he brings home this cat named Typhon, and you can assume that things are going to get rough for the mousy denizens of Hamaxidus. All right, so it's so stupid. But yeah, I told myself I could write whatever stupid shit I wanted during the month, and this is me purely making good on that whole thing. But I don't know. There's just like a lot of stupid shit that I like in this story, and I don't apologize. But yeah, I'm also very sorry. Yeah, so that was the fourth of the stories. So in terms of getting anything published, I think you would have to find like one of those publications that really caters to fat women who love eating cake and love cats. So maybe it's sellable to one of those. I it's the only chance I'll ever get to write like desiderate damsels and that kind of thing. Am I not fucking recording? No, I'm recording. Yeah. Maybe I just need to change that or whatever. All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed. That's your story for the day. Sapiosexual. Yeah, somebody who here's the editor who I'm not trying to sling stones or anything like that, but I would assume that the editor who would ultimately buy this story, her hair is not its natural color. Let's just put it that way. And she's not a size 6. So this is what I truly believe. But maybe I just shot myself in the dick saying that kind of shit. But no, like I just I like the story. I'm happy with how it turned out. I like the little twist there. Um, I like that it doesn't take itself too seriously. Going back and forth. Yeah, she likes crystals. There's a tapestry hanging on her wall somewhere. She like knows way too much about astrology, even though she's like, oh, it's just for fun. And definitely makes like lifelong financial decisions based on the arbitrary alignment of the planets. How else can we typeset the audience for this whole thing? But I mean, honestly, it would be like some traits that I would really like. Like I usually girls that are willing to bang me are into Greek myth for the most part. I've gotten in that argument that like they're like, I hate this place. I'm moving back to Connecticut. Oh my god, I've heard that one a few different times. So this is just, if you're out there listening to this and you fucked me in the past, this is not meant to be like a slam on you or whatever. It's purely just a very self-involved tale told by yours truly. All right, well, thank you to everybody who joined in for this edit. Music by some dude with long black hair that plays panpipes on a windy cliff in the music video. Actually, well, I'll get into it a little bit later, but I might, in a kilt, I might do like a claymation of this guy if I can find the time to do it. I think it would really lend itself to a crazy claymation type thing. But yeah, we'll see how that all goes. The problem is if you do a claymation of it, you lose your big reveal because you wouldn't claymate them as warriors and then just swap to whatever. You would claymate them as rats because rats are fucking cute the whole time. Anyhow, this is the story of a man named Shady. All right, let me get the fuck out of here. Hope everybody had a good time. Tomorrow, we can edit. We'll start editing, I guess. So if you're here, you can vote on this right here. So tomorrow we can either edit a fantasy story that's a little bit longer. I think the fantasy story is probably about, it's 8,000 words, but I'm like in the process of maybe turning it into a novella, like a Fargo type Coen Brothers Everything Falls Apart fiasco. So that's a story about a village full of wizards. Alternately, instead of doing that, we can do the Varanasi Nazarene, which is a story about a priest who catches a young Roma woman trying to pick his pocket in Morocco, and what goes down. So yeah, vote now if you want, but this is the end of the stream. Penis bump.